Welcome to the Explainer. You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a Jira report, and it's like you're drowning in data, but you can't find a single useful insight. Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to show you how to unlock that data and turn it into real, actionable intelligence that actually helps your team get better.
So let's kick things off with a pretty surprising idea. When your Jira reports are a mess, they're slow, they're confusing, maybe the numbers just feel wrong. It's so easy to point the finger at Jira itself. But what if the problem isn't the tool at all? What if it's what you're asking the tool to do?
And honestly, this is the key to everything we're going to talk about today. It's not about chasing the fanciest chart or the most colorful dashboard. It's about asking the right questions of the right data. That task scope, the actual stuff you're trying to analyze, that's your foundation. And if that foundation is shaky, well, the whole thing just falls apart.
Think about it. We've all seen it. You try to run a report on this gigantic, messy pile of issues. You've got tasks from last week mixed in with tickets from 5 years ago. What happens? Your gadgets lag, the whole thing grinds to a halt, and the numbers you get back are just useless noise. The answer isn't a more powerful tool, it's just being smarter about what you analyze in the first place.
So this completely flips the script, right? We stop asking, which project should I report on? And we start asking, what question am I actually trying to answer? So let's dive in and see how this question-first approach works using a tool like the Time and Status app to get those super specific answers. Okay, let's tackle a big one, bottlenecks. Every team has them. It's that black hole in your workflow where tickets just seem to disappear. You feel it, but you can't prove it. Well, instead of just guessing or having endless meetings about it, you can use a specific report to find out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, think of this report as an X-ray for your workflow. It literally shows you the average time your tasks are sitting in every single stage. So if you suddenly see that code review is taking, an average of 3 days, bam, you've found your problem area. Now you can have a real conversation. Do we need more reviewers? Is our review process too complicated? The data points you right to the problem.
All right, what about another classic question? Team workload. How do you know if work is spread out fairly? You definitely don't want one person completely swamped while someone else is looking for things to do. And yep, you guessed it, there's a report for that too.
This one gives you a super clear picture of who's spending time on what. But, and this is really important, this is not about playing Big Brother. It's not for micromanaging people. It's about making sure everyone has a manageable, fair amount of work. That's how you build a healthy, sustainable team.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. As you can see here, there's a whole toolkit of reports. You can answer all sorts of questions, like how often are tasks getting sent back for rework? The status count report will tell you that. Or how many times does a ticket bounce between in progress and on hold? Check the transition count. See, every single report is built to answer a very specific question.
Okay, so you've nailed it. You've got the right question, you've picked the perfect report, you're all set, right? Well, maybe not. What if the data itself is wrong? Because bad data always leads to bad conclusions. So now, let's get into the settings and make sure our data is actually accurate.
This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see. People measure in calendar time. So a task gets started late on a Friday and finished first thing Monday morning. The report says it took over 2 days. But in reality, it was probably just a couple of hours of actual work. When you switch to business time, you start measuring real effort, not just weekends. It seems like a tiny tweak, but the difference in accuracy is massive.
And setting this up is super easy. You can create custom calendars for all your different teams. Maybe your support team is global, working around the clock, but your dev team is strictly 9 to 5. No problem. You set up a calendar for each, and now your reports reflect how your teams actually work.
And it's not just calendars. You've got other settings that are crucial for clean data. Things like standardizing how time is displayed, setting the right time zones for distributed teams, even deciding who has permission to change these things. It all adds up to creating one source of truth that your whole team can actually rely on.
Okay, so you've done all this awesome work. You're asking smart questions, you've picked the right report, your data is squeaky clean. But if that amazing report is hidden away inside an app somewhere, who's going to see it? Nobody. We need to get these insights front and center, right on your team's main command center, the Jira dashboard.
And the best part? It is ridiculously easy to do. A few clicks, seriously. You go to your dashboard, add a gadget, search for the right one, and just plug in the report you already built. And just like that, Your most important metrics are right there, every time you open Jira.
This is where the magic really happens. All 7 of those report types we saw earlier can be put on your dashboard. You can have the raw data in a table or a nice clean chart for a quick overview. Your dashboard stops being the static thing you ignore and becomes a living, breathing view of how your team is actually doing in real time.
Okay, so we know how to build great reports, but just as important is how we use them. Because good data is a powerful tool for improvement, but in the wrong hands or used the wrong way, it can actually do a lot of damage. So, let's talk about a few of the biggest traps you need to avoid.
And this is the golden rule right here. Please remember this. Data is a flashlight, not a hammer. It's for finding problems in the process, not for blaming people. The second you start using reports to compare team members against each other, you've lost. You create a culture of fear where people will do anything to make their numbers look good, even if it hurts the team. Always focus on improving the system, not pointing fingers at individuals.
Next up, your workflow can't be set in stone. It needs to reflect how your team actually works, right now. If your team has a new QA step, but it's not in your Jira workflow, guess what? Your reports are basically fiction. So you need to audit it. Use a report like the status count. Is there a status that has 0 tickets in it? Maybe it's time to delete it. Are tickets constantly bouncing back and forth? That's a huge red flag that your process is confusing.
And finally, be careful with averages. They can be so misleading. You've probably heard the joke about the statistician who drowned in a river that was, on average, 3 feet deep. It's the same with your data. One really gnarly, complicated ticket that took 3 weeks can totally wreck your team's average cycle time, even if 99% of your tasks fly through the system. The numbers give you the what, but you have to talk to your team to get the why.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this incredible quote from Eliyahu Goldratt. "Tell me how you will measure me, and I will tell you how I will behave." It's so true. Whatever you choose to measure is what your team will optimize for. If you only measure speed, you'll get speed, probably at the cost of quality. But if you measure things that encourage teamwork and making the process better, well, that's exactly what you'll get.
So here's the bottom line. Your Jira data is telling a story, right now. And by shifting your mindset away from these huge, messy data dumps and toward focused, question-based reports, you can finally learn to understand that story. It's never been about a lack of data. It's always been about a lack of the right questions. So let me leave you with this. What story is your data trying to tell you?